Let's lock in. Richardson Hitchins calls out Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. We're going to listen to these call outs and then we'll discuss it. But he called out Teofimo Lopez twice. So that tells me that's the fight he really wants. He wants it in New York because they're both from New York. And he stated that he's always wanted a New York homecoming. So this is immediately after the fight in the post-fight interview. Let's listen to Richardson Hitchins.
With that, what do you want to do next?
I want Teofimo in New York, Brooklyn, Unification. I think that would be one of the biggest fights of 2025, a very lucrative fight, a very big fight. And like I said, I don't belong in the ring with nobody else but the top level in boxing. That's what it's about.
With that,
you could tell Hitchins gained a lot of confidence with that fight. He wants to be in the ring with the top guys, he's saying, and he's called out some of the top fighters in his division immediately after that fight. Let's take a look at what Hitchins said here.
It's great to be able to put the city of New York in my back. I think that it's always been a dream of me. I'm gonna throw this out here to have my own homecoming in New York. I think that I earned that.
Especially against Teofimo.
As Teofimo, if we can't get him in the ring, whoever, to have a big fight in New York, I think that would be a real moment to me to come back in my city as a world champion and to just, bring a big fight there. I think that would be the next big step of achieving a different type of goal.
So you just...
Teofimo versus Richardson Hitchins in New York. I mean, sounds good to me. I'll give you my input after we watch this next video, though. And this is Richardson Hitchins speaking about Devin Haney and fighting Devin Haney.
Who do you want next? I know you mentioned Teofimo.
Whichever one of the champions, whichever one of the guys that want to fight. Haney said that if I get a belt, he'll fight me. So let's do it. I think that I'm ready for any of the top names. I want the biggest fights in boxing. That's it. It's time to secure my legacy, secure my family legacy, and make the biggest fights in boxing. And that's what.
Who do you want next?
So Devin said he would fight him if he has a belt. He got his belt, so he's calling out Devin again, which doesn't surprise me. Devin right now is looking very vulnerable, so a lot of people would be calling out Devin. But Hitch, to his credit, was calling out Devin. Even when he was avoiding Subriel, he was calling out Devin. So he wants Devin. For me, this is great. Hitch is a great player in the game because he has great boxing skills. There are a lot of people who don't appreciate boxing skills. They see it as boring. I'm not one. I believe that if you could take a good fighter like Liam Perot and discipline him, make him hesitant to throw, counter him clean, hurt him, beat him up. Look at Liam Perot's face after that fight. You can't tell me that he wasn't getting touched up by Hitchins. Yeah, Hitchins was touching him up. If you're upset about the fight you watch, you are upset with Liam Perot. Liam Perot is the one who has to make Hitchins fight. Gustavo Lemos was successful in doing it. Now, Hitchins says his right hand was hurt. Whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. Gustavo Lemos was successful in forcing Hitchins to fight. And when you're going in the ring against a Shakur Stevenson, when you're going in the ring against someone like Floyd Mayweather, you have to force him to fight. That's what Marcos Modena was successful in doing against Floyd Mayweather. That's what Luis Castillo was successful in doing against Floyd Mayweather. You have to be able to make Floyd Mayweather fight in uncomfortable moments if you want to have a chance. And Liam Perot somewhat tried, but the reality is when he started getting popped with those right hands and them counter left hooks, it disciplined him. He no longer wanted to jump in and try to do those things because he knew that Hitchins could pop and he knew that there was the danger of him potentially being knocked out. So he was very cautious, and Hitchins isn't going to initiate no slugfest. We already know that. So Hitchins fought his fight. Now, with that being said, Teofimo Lopez versus Richardson Hitchins is a good fight to me. The problem with that is I don't see it happening because personally, I think Teofimo Lopez thinks he's a bigger star than he actually is. When he fought in Madison Square Garden, he didn't fight in a big arena. He fought in like some little side auditorium. Teofimo Lopez, to my knowledge, hasn't fought on pay-per-view. Now, his fight with George Kambosos, I know it was on the Zone, but I don't remember paying for it. I remember Trilla at one point won a bid. they paid more money, but something happened with Triller, and then the Zone ended up buying the fight, and then he fought Kambosos on the Zone. But even if that fight was on pay-per-view, you're talking about one pay-per-view years ago, and you went back to fighting on ESPN, regular cable. So, and I'm not trying to disrespect regular cable, but we have to be honest. He's sending contracts to Devin Haney, 55-45 split, where he's on the top. And credit to him, he said that last night on ESPN, he said that that's an invitation to counter with your offer. I do think if they can reach a 50-50 type of deal, split the purse, the 50-50, and the revenue share 50-50, Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney is a good fight. But if that fight can't be made, Hitchins versus Teofimo Lopez, title unification, why not? Now, Teo's going to try to big boy him and say, I need the lion's share because he already did it to Devin. And he's already done it to George Kambosos. Well, now George Kambosos doesn't have the Liam Perot fight for a title anymore. Maybe now George Kambosos is more likely to entertain the rematch with Teofimo Lopez. We'll see. When all said and done, Hitchins can fight. He can fight George Kambosos in New York. That's a good fight. One thing I know is Devin Haney probably doesn't want to fight in New York again after what happened with Ryan Garcia. So if the terms of the fight and the condition of the fight isn't taking place in New York, it'll be interesting to see if Devin Haney will do that with Richardson Hitchins. But what I like about Richardson Hitchins right now is he's calling out all the other champions because he wants to unify. I'm going to be honest. I genuinely believe that Hitchins knew styles make fights, and he knew that Subriel Matias' style was bad for him. Not that he feared. Well, obviously, he not that he didn't have confidence that he could win. I'm sure he felt like, yeah, I might be able to win, but I'm going to have to take a lot of punishment. Like you saw him after the fight with Liam Perot, he didn't take that much punishment. But against Subriel, even if it ended early, he knew it was going to be a war, and that's the type of fight that I don't think Hitchison wanted. But I should say Hitchins wanted. I don't think that's the type of fight that Hitchins wanted. But now, when you look at who's left, Devin Haney, that's a technical fight. He loved that. Teofimo Lopez is similar to Liam Perot, where he's going to apply pressure, but it's not going to be that relentless Gustavo Lemos, Subriel Matias, I'll take 2 or 3 just to hit you one time type of pressure. It's going to be like Liam Perot. He's okay with that. He doesn't like the guys who are going to stay in your face even if you hit them 2 or 3 times and then they're still going to hit you. Those are the type of fighters that Hitchins doesn't like. So I think he fancies his chances against all the champions at 140. It's going to be interesting to see how this dynamic plays out. I would love to see Teofimo Lopez fight Hitchins, especially after all the crap Teofimo Lopez has been popping. So hopefully he's realistic in his mind about the negotiations for the fight, and we'll see this fight. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. It's Caden. I'm out. Peace.